welcome to the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. I am Chaiti Narula. We're already gearing up to a countdown to the Bangalore Derby 2012, which is slated to take place on July 15. But before that, let's take a quick roundup of the Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby 2012. The Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby hosted 320 people in their private pavilion, situated just besides the winning post. The ground conditions were heavy and the racing world waited with bated breath to see who won this derby. Let's first start off with the race.
And away they go, and in the early stages it's Astrology as expected who sets off to make the running, followed by Akid Mafid in second, light heavy towards the outside, Camelot tucked in fourth place, and Born to See behind him, last of the quintet, as they continue now towards the end of the first 2 furlongs, and Astrology going a good enough pace in the lead from Akid Mafid in second. Then Light Heavy close up on the outside in third, a couple of lengths behind them. Camelot 2.5 back to Camelot and Joseph O'Brien and Johnny Murtagh. Born to See 2 lengths last at this stage as they go past the mile pole. Astrology has a lead of almost 6 lengths now. Akid Mafid in second, then Light Heavy, Kevin Manning in third. 2.5 lengths away comes Camelot and Born to See in rear as they stretch along the far side of the course and begin to go uphill. And it's Astrology in front by a good 5-6 lengths to Akid Mafid. William Buick in second, then Light Heavy in third. Camelot, the favourite, in fourth place, and last of all is Born to See as they race up towards the top of the course and the halfway stage. Astrology leads by about 4 to Akid Mafid. Light Heavy in third. Camelot is 2.5 lengths back, and Born to See still in rear as they race along the top of the course and past the 5 furlong pole, beginning to descend. And Astrology's lead has been reduced now to about a length. Akid Mafid, Light Heavy poised on the outside. Camelot lobbing along just behind them in fourth, followed 2 lengths back by Born to See. Into the home turn now, inside the last half mile. Akid Mafid comes through to take the lead from Astrology. Light Heavy moving up on the outside. Camelot still going easily just behind him, and tracking him all the way is Born to See. Off the turn, inside the last 3, Akid Mafid from Light Heavy. Camelot moves up in third. Born to See is next. Astrology is dropped right out of contention. And here comes Camelot now on the outside, but Akid Mafid on the far side. Light Heavy and Born to See up the centre of the track. And then Camelot just wandering a little bit. He's in front. Born to See is throwing down a challenge. They've gone on from Light Heavy. They race to the final furlong. Camelot the leader. Born to See coming after him. They're clear of Light Heavy. Inside the final furlong, Camelot and Born to See testing ground, but Camelot has what it takes as they race up to the line. Hands and heels in the closing stages. Camelot does the Derby double, wins it by about a length and a half. Born to See is second, clear of Light Heavy third. Akid Mafid 4, and a long way last Astrology.
Take a look at this race. Aidan O'Brien trained Camelot was settled in fourth. This was behind Astrology, Akid Mafid and Light Heavy, while Born to See set pace, settling in the rear. Camelot was making smooth headway to challenge the entire field when they approached the straight. He did go to the lead, and look at Born to See making a strong bid as a counter-challenge. Camelot, partnered by Joseph O'Brien, son of trainer Aidan O'Brien, finally raced past the winning post 2 clear lengths ahead of Born to See. Camelot triumphed at the Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby, much to nobody's surprise. Camelot brought laurels for the stable, winning this race despite the testing ground conditions at Curragh. The 1-5 favourite beat Born to See by 2 lengths, to be first after Nijinsky to win the Classic Treble, the Group 1 2000 Guineas, the Investic Derby and the Irish Derby. This son of Montjeu, Camelot now sets sight for the Triple Crown glory in the Saint Leger. Take a look now at Camelot's pedigree chart. With victories in the 2000 Guineas at Newmarket and the Derby at Epsom already in the bag, Camelot still has the option of tackling the Saint Leger at Doncaster in September. O'Brien won the Irish Classic for the 7th consecutive year. Camelot happens to be his 10th winner of the race overall. This 1-5 favourite Camelot did end up bringing a lot of laurels to the stables. And what race that was, the Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby. It was a race that did not surprise many. Camelot happens to be a son of Montjeu. And what better time than now to talk about the champion sire? Take a look at the story. In the year 1996, Sir James Goldsmith bred colt by the great Sadler's Wells from a mare called Floribets. The colt will be named Montjeu and would take the racing world by storm. Many good horses do not necessarily become stallions, and in today's industry's trends, those who infuse a dominance of stamina are deemed to be doomed. However, Montjeu was different and very special. In 1997, Sir James died even before Montjeu ever raced, and the deed to the colt was transferred to a holding company. Montjeu raced twice before he was sold to Michael Tabor. As a racehorse, Montjeu began his career as a 2-year-old and went unbeaten. The colt wintered well, and when he reappeared as a 3-year-old, it was clear that he had matured into something very special. In the year 1999, Montjeu won the Irish Derby, the French Derby and the Arc, and was unanimously voted the Cartier 3-year-old European champion colt and the world champion. Unlike many great champions before him, Montjeu returned to racing as a 4-year-old and won 3 more Group 1 races including the King George, and was voted champion older horse in Europe. At the end of his 4-year-old campaign, Montjeu was retired to Coolmore in Ireland. It's conceivable that even the astute Coolmore boys were unaware of how good a stallion Montjeu would become. Montjeu turned out to be an exceptional young sire and has already sired a number of Group 1 winners. These included the Arc winner Hurricane Run, 2005 Epsom Derby winner Motivator, 2007 Epsom Derby winner Authorized, and the 2008 Irish Derby winner Frozen Fire. In Singapore, he has already played a major role and is presently in the top 5 stallions on the general sires list. His biggest money earner in Singapore in 2008 is Pratesh, who has won 3 races in a row. Montjeu stands at a fee of €125,000, a staggering amount considering his prepotency for siring middle-distance horses rather than sprinters. Montjeu collected a 3rd classic title this season after his unbeaten son, Camelot, added the Irish Derby to an already outstanding race record. Let's now take a look at the pedigree chart of Montjeu. Montjeu is by Sadler's Wells, a great sire and a great sire of sires. His dam is Floribets by Topville, who also brings in stamina into the pedigree. Montjeu is a sire of great regard, and for those looking for classic middle distance performances, this search could well begin and end with Montjeu. Remember, Montjeu has collected the 3rd classic title of this season after his unbeaten son, Camelot, won the Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby. Well, on that note, let's take a quick break on the Fly Kingfisher winning post, but when we return, we fly straight to Bangalore. Welcome back to the Fly Kingfisher winning post. Let's take a flight straight to Bangalore. Remember, the Kingfisher Bangalore Derby is slated to take place on July 15th, and we promise to bring you all the action straight from Bangalore. But before that, let's rewind a little bit to the yesteryears and take a look at the derbies that were. July is an important month in the social and racing calendars of equestrian enthusiasts all over the country. The much-awaited Kingfisher Derby 2012 will see the best of thoroughbreds take position and compete for the prestigious trophy. Let's recap the past few years of this prestigious classic. In the earlier days, the prize money wasn't that much, nor was the competition too tight. For those who looked forward, it was always about the prestige of being at such an important date in the social calendar. The owners would take pride in leading their winning horses, holding the reins and enjoying the privilege of being the lucky few in the country. After many years, the interest in the sport has become far more broad-based. More owners and trainers have been added over the years, and it is enjoying much higher stakes as well. The elite few who have been coming to watch turn out in their best clothes, looking prim and glamorous. The first Bangalore Derby of the Turf Club was held in 1962, and the prize money was just 25,570 rupees, a far cry from what it is today. The Derby in Bangalore has always enjoyed participation of good thoroughbreds, not just from Bangalore, but from centres like Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. Prominent among owners were actors Feroz Khan, Sanjay Khan and Mahmood Ali, to name a few. The sponsorships for the Derby started for the first time in 1988 when Dr. Vijay Mallya, chairman of the UB Group, sponsored the event. Dr. Vijay Mallya first won the Derby in 1987 with his horse Divine Light, trained by legendary trainer R.R. Bairamji, partnered by Vasant Shinde, a well-known jockey of that time. The two important equestrian events back in the 70s were the Bangalore Derby, which was in the second week of July, and the Indian Derby held in Mumbai, which was followed in the month of February. It was considered that you had arrived in society if you owned a horse. So anyone who wanted to show that they were big in the social circles, buying a racehorse would be the quickest way of doing so. And well, if you were fortunate enough that your horse won the Derby, you would be the talk of the town for that day. We look forward to the Kingfisher Derby 2012 this year. A lot of glamour and excitement is what the Kingfisher Bangalore Derby associates itself with. It is indeed a place to be spotted if you're in Bangalore on July 15th, and a very important date in Bangalore's social calendar. The Kingfisher Bangalore Derby 2012 will witness another spectacular equine tussle for supremacy among the current top 3-year-olds. Off the track, there has always been excitement and glamour that any Kingfisher event is known to bring with it. The King of Good Times proudly associates with one of the most exclusive equestrian events on the social calendar in Bangalore, the annual Bangalore Derby. From the movers and from the shakers of the city to fashion icons and celebrities, the stars descend at Bangalore Turf Club to celebrate good times with the royal sport. The Bangalore Derby is an extremely fashionable event where everyone dresses up in fancy hats and dapper suits and sit in sparkling grandstands while betting on the horses. The Kingfisher Derby is the second biggest derby event in the country, right after the Indian Derby, and a very important day in Bangalore's social calendar. Well, some call it the benchmark in Bangalore's social calendar as well. This year, the Kingfisher Bangalore Derby will take place on July 15, and the entire racing fraternity awaits with bated breath as the countdown begins now. Indeed, the countdown does begin for all of us here as well at the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post, as we're all geared up for the Bangalore Derby 2012, which is the biggest derby in the country after the McDowell Signature Indian Derby that takes place in Mumbai. We've got lots more racing action waiting for you on the other side of this break, so take a break right here on the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. Welcome back, you're watching Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. Let's now take a flight straight to Singapore to take a look at the Patrons Bowl.
The Group 1 Patrons Bowl over 1600 metres on the metric mile on the 24th of June had the trappings of a great matchup between two horses in the best of form. Gingerbread Man from Bruce Marsh's yard had won the first leg of the Singapore Triple Crown. The Singapore Group 2 Stewards Cup over 1400 metres, and with Boston in the saddle was sent off as the favourite. The son of Shamadal had already won 11 of his 22 starts and as a champion 3-year-old had won the 2011 Guineas, form that had covered this field. In the Guineas, Gingerbread Man had both Atto and Nandora behind him, but that was over a year ago, and Atto particularly had gone on to bigger and better things since. Trained by Patrick Shaw, Atto got the call in the Chris Flyer sprint when his stablemate Rocketman was withdrawn, and he stormed home to post the biggest victory of his life. With Baron Voster in the saddle and with the step up in distance, the sense of anticipation for this matchup was at a fever pitch.
Racing in a patron's bowl.
Out of the gates, it was Nandora who went to the lead, forcing Gingerbread Man to follow, even as Voster allowed Atto to settle in their slipstream.
Gingerbread Man rolls up the lead here. Nandora kicks through underneath him. Atto drops to third, then Grand Arrival. Over on the inside is Raffica as they sort themselves out. Chase Me caught out wide from Arowana.com and Lightning Thief. Atto just locked away and behind them, followed by Raffica, Lightning Thief. Chase Me down the outside with the yellow jacket. They were followed in behind them then by Hammer Down and Deep Pockets, but inside the final 300, Gingerbread Man raced past Nandora. Atto is into the clear, running on strongly down the outside. Atto goes up to Gingerbread Man. Nandora Chase Me down the outside. Gingerbread Man and Atto. Atto the outside. Gingerbread Man. Nandora over on the fence, but Atto pokes his nose in front. Nandora kicks back, but Atto takes out the patrons.
Yeah, no, obviously I thought he'd get the mile. I just wanted to add a bit of fitness because, you know, I gave him a bit of a layoff after the Chris Flyer, and I was hesitant to run him in the patrons. I mean, in the lead-up race, the 1400, which would have suited him as well, but it was a little bit too soon, and I had to go straight into this race. So I don't think I had him 100% here. I think I could have had him a lot fitter.
He really deserves it, you know. He's the type of horse that, like I explained earlier, everybody's saying, yeah, well, does he live up to his ability of beating the Chris Flyer field? Well, today he's proven that, you know, going from a 1200 to a mile as well. I'm very proud of him, and, you know, to Dennis and them, they've really got a nice horse in him now, and he's really flourished and he's really done well, and the team at home has done a really good job with him, and I'm just really proud to be associated with him. And
that was the South African bred Atto, showing much promise there at the winning post at Kranji. Time now for our weekly Kingfisher Trailblazers with a roundup of 2 key races from Bangalore. In this week's Kingfisher Trailblazers, 2 horses put in an outstanding performance. Let's start off with Juvenile Sprinters Mill in Grade 3, which was the highlight in a 9-event card framed for Sunday's racing action at Bangalore. Despite the fact there were 7 acceptances, this race proved to be quite exciting. Deshmukh's Vijay's Best was the favourite, and the God Abroad Colt had made a fine impression while emerging from the maiden ranks a few weeks ago. He was pegged to be good enough to finish the race lengths ahead of the others. From a field that consisted of Carducci, Gold Glamour and Thunder Bay, it was obvious that Vijay's Best could not be beaten. Mumbai's challengers Manyata and Deja Vu were going to run for the first time this summer and were at nourishing odds despite having proved themselves with impressive victories at the Mahalakshmi racecourse in Mumbai. Deja Vu in particular was coming into this race with a back-to-back double in Mumbai, and in his current workouts, he showed enough to indicate that he had retained his winning form. Manyata also looked absolutely battle-ready in the parade ring. Vijay's Best started off as an even money favourite ahead of Deja Vu and Manyata. Let's take a look at this race.
They're off and racing for the Juvenile Sprinters Million Grade 3 to a lovely even start by all runners. And as they settle down to race, there's a rush for the early lead with Thunder Bay in the middle, just taking it up from Vijay's Best coming over to take over the running now on the outside Manyata. As they pass the 1000-meter marker, Vijay's Best about a length in front of Manyata in second position. Then comes Thunder Bay towards the inside race as they pass the 800-meter marker. Carducci is making a forward move on the outside. Very close behind them is Lion King. Then comes Deja Vu and Gold Glamour is the back marker. They're racing towards the 600-meter marker now with Vijay's Best just about 3/4 of a length in front of Manyata in second position. Thunder Bay towards the inside is being tracked by Carducci. A length further back there's Lion King. Closing the fence there Deja Vu, and on the outside a length away Gold Glamour as they negotiate the home turn. into the straight. The favourite Vijay is best in the lead, about half a length in front of Manyata coming up on the outside, being hidden hard there. Very close behind is Deja Vu making good progress on the outside. Then comes Thunder Bay with about 200 metres more to run, and Manyata just heads the field, about half a length in front of DJ's best. Deja Vu is under the stick on the outside, but being prominent on the outside. 2 lengths further back there is Karuchi, has dropped back. Then there's Thunder Bay, but with 100 metres more to run. Manyata is fighting out from Deja Vu, travelling better. Deja Vu on the outside just about wins the Juvenile Sprinters Million Grade 3.
Vijay's Best looked sluggish at the gates, and the other 6 did take off to a level start. Vijay's Best got pushed to the front by Sandesh. He used his speed to lead from Manyata, Thunder Bay and Karduchi. In the meanwhile, Deja Vu, partnered by Zarwan, was content to race in the rear. Vijay's Best guided the field homewards but could not muster the firepower he had shown in his last victorious run. Manyata pounced on the favourite in the straight, but when Deja Vu made his forward move, he surfaced from the rear to establish his superiority as he raced past the wire. Manyata was a game second. The other race we are highlighting in the Kingfisher Trailblazers is the Via Surinder Memorial Cup that culminated in a nail-biting finish. Casanova sped from the outside draw to be at the helm soon at the start and held position with a pack of horses hounding him in a tight cluster. As Casanova led them into the straight, the entire field spread across the turf, seeking untroubled passage. Casanova showed no signs of relenting and kicked on. However, Spark of Silver started to gain him in the final furlong. Just look at that. Atlantis finished on fastest, but at the wire, Spark of Silver got the nod right to win by a whisker. Deja Vu winning the Juvenile Sprinters Million Grade 3 and Spark of Silver taking away the Via Surinder Memorial Cup home. Time now for our Tipping Tim as he tells you what to watch out for at the races this weekend in Bangalore.
Welcome to Tipping Tim. With the Kingfisher Bangalore Derby drawing closer, the action on the turf leading to the Derby is expected to be hot this week. However, Tipping Tim is optimistic about the chances of waging some successful bets over the weekend. Tipping Tim's last week's suggestion to back Spark of Silver turned out to be a lucrative one as the mare returned victorious at 8-1. Well, you're actually as good as your last winner race, and hence looking forward, this Saturday Pack Your Bags in the Tipu Sultan Cup looks well prepared. There are other threats looming in the race, however I am pleased with the way Pack Your Bags is shaping up. The HP Gundappa Memorial Cup looks loaded in favour of Atlantis, who showed a brilliant finishing effort in the Via Surinder Memorial Cup last week. He is carrying a lot of lead weight, no doubt, but that is nothing new for him. In fact, trainer Sharad Kumar has had a good measure of success in winning with horses carrying a lot of dead weight. On Sunday, the prospects of yet again seeing In the Spotlight in action is indeed appetizing. Smashing will get a third strike at cracking the code, and this time she is much better equipped, as is evident in the rousing form that she is in. The others in the fray will have to do a lot of catching up, and the battle looks crispy between superstar In the Spotlight and heroine Smashing, who is in great heart.
That's all that we have for you on this power-packed episode of the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. We will see you from Bangalore next weekend. Until then, may the horse be with you. Fly Kingfisher Winning Post is powered by the Serum Institute of India and Hirko Industries.